Welcome to Silver Vitality Vault. Hello and welcome to Silver Vitality Vault, your trusted source for science-backed strategies to live longer, healthier, and happier, especially after 60. I'm your host, and today we embark on an extraordinary journey that could add 10 to 15 quality years to your life. This isn't hype or fleeting trends. It's drawn from the world's most verified longevity hotspots, the blue zones. Imagine places where reaching 100 isn't rare, it's common, and those centenarians aren't frail or confined. They're active, sharp-minded, gardening, laughing with family, dancing, and enjoying life fully. National Geographic explorer Dan Buettner, through decades of research funded by the National Institute on Aging, identified 5 such regions: Okinawa in Japan, Sardinia in Italy, the Nicoya Peninsula in Costa Rica, Icaria in Greece, and Loma Linda in California. In these blue zones, people live dramatically longer with far lower rates of heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and dementia. As of 2026, Buettner's latest updates, including his new podcast and ongoing projects, reinforce that genetics account for only about 20 to 30% of longevity. The remaining 70 to 80% stems from lifestyle and environment. That's empowering news. We can adopt these proven habits right where we are in modern American life. In this comprehensive 2-hour guide, we'll count down 20 secret habits distilled from Blue Zone's research, the famous Power 9 principles expanded with practical insights for seniors today. We'll explore real centenarian stories, latest studies, and simple ways to integrate them into busy American routines. Grocery shopping, family time, work, or retirement. Whether you're in your 60s aiming for vibrant 80s or helping loved ones, this could transform your health trajectory. Stay until the end for number 1, the ultimate combination habit, adding the most years. Before diving in, share in the comments your age, where you're watching from, and one health goal for 2026. We read and reply to everyone. It builds our amazing community. Now, let's begin the countdown from number 20. Number 20. Incorporate natural daily movement. Move naturally. Welcome back to our countdown of the 20 secret habits from the blue zones that can help you stay vibrant, strong, and independent well into your 80s, 90s, and beyond. We're starting at number 20 with one of the most foundational yet overlooked principles: natural daily movement, often called moving naturally or non-exercise activity thermogenesis, NEAT for short. In the blue zones, centenarians rarely if ever step foot in a gym, lift weights, or follow structured workout routines like many of us do here in America. They don't run marathons, attend spin classes, or track steps on fitness apps. Instead, their extraordinary longevity comes from seamlessly weaving gentle, consistent movement into every aspect of their daily lives. It's not about intense effort, it's about making movement an unavoidable, enjoyable part of existence. Take Okinawa, Japan, for example, one of the original blue zones with an exceptionally high number of healthy centenarians. Elders there rise early and spend hours tending personal gardens. Even in small yards or community plots, they squat deeply to plant seeds, bend to weed, reach to harvest fresh vegetables like bitter melon, sweet potatoes, and vibrant greens. This isn't seen as exercise. It's simply how they secure fresh, nutrient-rich food while staying connected to the earth and seasons. Recent updates from the ongoing Okinawa Centenarian study, still active into 2026, continue to highlight gardening as a daily ritual that provides low to moderate intensity activity, engaging full-body range of motion and promoting flexibility, balance, and strength without strain. In Sardinia's mountainous blue zone villages, traditional shepherds, many continuing into their 90s, walk an average of 5 to 10 miles daily over rugged, hilly terrain while guiding flocks. This steady, low-intensity trekking builds remarkable cardiovascular endurance, leg strength, and bone density. Studies from 2025 scoping reviews on blue zones confirm that this constant, moderate shepherding activity contributes significantly to Sardinia's exceptional male longevity, where men reach 100 at rates rivaling or exceeding women elsewhere. Over in Nicoya, Costa Rica, centenarians engage in practical chores, chopping wood for cooking fires, fetching water, riding horses to visit neighbors, or hand-tilling small farms. These functional tasks keep them active from dawn to dusk, fostering resilience and purpose. This pattern repeats across all blue zones. Movement is inevitable because environments and traditions demand it. Walking to markets, manual labor, floor sitting requiring frequent rising, building lower body power, or community dances. Now, what exactly is NEAT? Coined by Mayo Clinic researcher Dr. James Levine, non-exercise activity thermogenesis refers to calories burned through everyday actions outside sleep, eating, or deliberate exercise. Fidgeting, standing, gesturing, household tasks all add up. Recent 2025 analyses, including updates from Mayo and USC Longevity Institute, reaffirm NEAT often explains greater metabolic differences than formal workouts, especially for seniors. Consistent low-intensity activity reduces systemic inflammation, a root of many age-related diseases, enhances insulin sensitivity, combating diabetes, preserves muscle mass, preventing sarcopenia, strengthens bones, reducing osteoporosis risk, improves circulation, lowering heart disease, and even supports brain health by boosting BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, for better cognition and mood. For us in America, where desk jobs, driving, and screen time dominate, leading to average daily steps far below Blue Zone's levels, reintroducing natural movement counters sedentary pitfalls. Prolonged sitting links to higher risks of obesity, cardiovascular issues, and shortened lifespan. Practical ways to boost NEAT: walk to the mailbox or neighborhood store instead of driving. Garden, even container herbs on balconies or windowsills provide bending, reaching, watering benefits. Stand during phone calls or TV commercials. Take stairs over elevators. Park farther in lots. Do light housework actively. Vacuum vigorously. Hand wash dishes. Aim initially for 30 minutes accumulated daily, broken into 10-minute segments if needed. Join mall walking groups, popular among American seniors for weatherproof social strolling or park meetups. Meet inspiring examples. 102-year-old Gozei Shinzato from Ojimi Village, Okinawa, still gardens mornings, harvesting Goya and turmeric, attributing vitality to fresh air, sunshine, and physical engagement. Movement keeps the body young. Prolonged sitting invites aging, she wisely shares. Or consider Sardinian centenarians who, even post-retirement, walk village paths daily for errands and socializing. To embed this, design inconvenient homes. No TV remote nearby, forcing rises, kitchen tools stored requiring reaches, laundry downstairs. These environmental nudges mimic Blue Zones effortlessly. Why foundational? Natural movement supplies energy and mobility for subsequent habits, cooking nutritious meals, socializing, pursuing purpose. Without it, others falter. 2025-2026 research, including Nordic emerging Blue Zone studies and ongoing Blue Zones project updates, consistently shows NEAT-dominant lifestyles yield superior outcomes for seniors versus sporadic intense sessions, lower injury risk, better adherence, sustained benefits. Commit today. Track baseline steps, add 1,000 daily incrementally. Walk post meals for digestion, blood sugar control. Involve family. Grandkids love garden help. This habit alone transforms health trajectory, burning hundreds extra calories daily, fortifying body against frailty, enhancing mood via endorphins and nature. As we progress countdown, remember, Blue Zones thrive on integration, not isolation. Natural movement energizes everything ahead. Number 19. Embrace a predominantly plant-based diet. Moving to number 19 in our transformative countdown of the 20 Blue Zones habits that can help add vibrant, healthy years to your life after 60. We arrive at one of the most powerful and consistent patterns across all 5 longevity hotspots: embracing a predominantly plant-based diet. This isn't about strict veganism or deprivation. It's about making plants the star of your plate, with animal products playing a supporting role only occasionally. Research spanning decades, including Dan Buettner's ongoing Blue Zones projects updated through 2026, shows that traditional Blue Zones diets are approximately 95% plant-derived. This means abundant servings of beans, leafy greens, colorful vegetables, whole grains, nuts, seeds, and fruits form the foundation, while meat, when it appears at all, is treated as a celebratory or flavoring element rather than the centerpiece. In fact, centenarians in these regions often consume meat just a few times per month, if that, and portions are small. Why does this matter so profoundly? Plants deliver an extraordinary payload of dietary fiber, potent antioxidants, essential vitamins, minerals, and anti-inflammatory phytochemicals that work synergistically to combat oxidative stress, Chronic inflammation and cellular damage, the underlying drivers of age-related diseases like heart conditions, type 2 diabetes, certain cancers, and cognitive decline. Long-term studies from Harvard's Nurses' Health Study and Health Professionals Follow-Up Study, along with meta-analyses up to 2025-2026, consistently link higher adherence to plant-heavy eating patterns with 20 to 30% reduced risks of major killers in America: cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, and several common cancers. These benefits compound over time, supporting healthier blood vessels, stable blood sugar, lower cholesterol, and robust immune function, all crucial for vitality in later years. At the heart of Blue Zone's meals are legumes, which dominate as the primary protein source. Lentils, chickpeas, black beans, soybeans, and other varieties appear almost daily, providing affordable, heart-healthy protein that's rich in soluble fiber to lower LDL cholesterol and steady glucose levels. Recent 2025 global analyses, including updates from the Charles Perkins Center, reinforce that countries with higher plant protein consumption show markedly longer adult life expectancies. In practical terms, for Americans transitioning gradually, no need for overnight overhaul. Start with Meatless Mondays, where beans take center stage in hearty soups, robust chilies, flavorful veggie stir-fries, or substantial salads as the main dish rather than side. Experiment with bean-based burgers, lentil loaves, or chickpea curries for satisfying texture and taste. A standout staple in Okinawa is the sweet potato, particularly nutrient-dense varieties like orange and purple ones, which provided up to 60 to 70% of calories historically. These root vegetables offer complex carbs for sustained energy, high fiber for gut health, and beta-carotene antioxidants supporting eye, skin, and immune function. Even today, Okinawan elders incorporate them regularly, often simply baked or steamed. Let's meet an inspiring figure from Nicoya, Costa Rica. Often referenced as Panchita Castillo, Maria Francisca Isolina Castillo Carrillo, who lived to 110 and became iconic in early Blue Zone's documentation. Her simple yet nourishing diet centered on the three sisters: beans, squash, and corn, combined with tropical fruits, providing balanced nutrition that fueled her active farm life well into advanced age. Similar stories abound, like modern Nicoyan centenarians enjoying daily bean-based gallo pinto or squash stews. Practical tips for seamless integration. Stock your pantry with low-sodium canned beans, always rinse to reduce sodium further, frozen vegetables for quick additions to any meal, and a variety of herb spices, turmeric, garlic, oregano, to elevate flavor without excess salt or sugar. Batch cook bean soups on weekends for easy weekday reheats. Roast root vegetables like sweet potatoes with olive oil and rosemary for satisfying sides. Experiment with international Blue Zones-inspired dishes: Icarian greens pies, Sardinian minestrone loaded with veggies and beans, or Loma Linda-style nut-based loaves. This habit isn't just about disease prevention. It's the engine fueling sustained energy, healthy weight management, sharp cognition, and resilient immunity, forming the core nutritional pillar of Blue Zone's vitality. As 2025 to 2026 studies continue affirming, shifting toward 95% plants doesn't require perfection. Even incremental increases yield compounding benefits over time. Imagine enjoying favorite foods while knowing each bite supports longevity. More time with grandchildren, travel, hobbies. This accessible change empowers profound transformation. Stay tuned as we climb higher. The next habits build beautifully on this foundation. Number 18. Practice the 80% full rule. Hara Hachibu. As we continue climbing our countdown of the 20 proven Blue Zones habits that can dramatically extend your healthy years after 60, we reach number 18, one of the simplest yet most transformative principles for longevity. The ancient Okinawan practice known as Hara Hachibu. This 20,500-year-old Confucian mantra, recited quietly before meals, translates literally to, eat until you are 8 parts out of 10 full. In other words, stop eating when you feel approximately 80% full, leaving a comfortable 20% buffer before reaching complete satiety. This isn't about restriction or hunger. It's a mindful, intentional approach to portion awareness that has been passed down through generations in Okinawa, one of the original Blue Zones with the world's highest concentration of healthy centenarians. Okinawans credit Hara Hachibu as a cornerstone of their exceptional longevity. and modern science is now catching up, validating why this small adjustment yields such outsized benefits for weight management, metabolic health, inflammation control, and overall lifespan extension. At its core, Hara-Hachi-Bu prevents habitual overeating, a common issue in many cultures, especially in fast-paced America, where supersized portions, endless snacking, and distracted eating have become normalized. That extra 20% of food often represents unnecessary calorie excess that the body stores as fat, triggers insulin spikes, promotes chronic low-grade inflammation, and contributes directly to the epidemics of obesity, type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and even accelerated aging at the cellular level. By consciously stopping at 80% fullness, you create a natural caloric deficit without rigid counting or deprivation, allowing the body to maintain a healthier weight effortlessly over time. More importantly, this practice aligns perfectly with emerging research on intermittent energy restriction and its profound effects on longevity pathways. Studies, including those from the calorie trials and ongoing 2025-2026 analyses from institutions like the National Institute on Aging, demonstrate that moderate calorie reduction, without malnutrition, enhances hormone balance, improving insulin sensitivity and lowering IGF-1 levels associated with aging, boosts digestive efficiency, reducing bloating, reflux, and gut strain, and activates powerful cellular repair mechanisms like autophagy, the body's natural process of clearing damaged cells and recycling components for renewal. Autophagy, often described as cellular house cleaning, ramps up during periods of slight energy restraint, helping to remove dysfunctional proteins and organelles that accumulate with age, thereby reducing risks of neurodegenerative diseases, cancer, and metabolic disorders. Hara-Hachi-Bu essentially mimics mild intermittent fasting benefits within each meal, promoting this restorative state daily without requiring extended fasts. In the context of fast-paced American life, where drive-thrus, large restaurant servings, all-you-can-eat buffets, and constant grazing opportunities abound, adopting Hara-Hachi-Bu requires intentional mindfulness to counteract cultural norms. The key is to eat slowly and deliberately, truly savoring flavors, textures, and aromas rather than rushing through meals while multitasking. Put down utensils between bites, chew thoroughly. Aim for 20 to 30 chews per mouthful, and engage fully with the sensory experience of eating. This naturally extends meal duration, allowing satiety signals from the stomach, via hormones like cholecystokinin and leptin, to reach the brain before overconsumption occurs. It takes about 20 minutes for these fullness cues to register, so pacing prevents overriding them. Practical strategies abound. Use smaller plates and bowls, an optical illusion that tricks the brain into perceiving generous portions even with reduced volume, fostering satisfaction without excess. Serve food in courses rather than piling everything at once, giving time to assess fullness progressively. Eliminate distractions. No screens, phones, or television during meals, so you remain attuned to internal signals rather than external stimuli, encouraging mindless continuation. Dan Buettner, through his decades of Blue Zones fieldwork, updated into 2026, consistently observes that residents across longevity hotspots follow similar patterns. The largest meal at breakfast, fueling active mornings, a moderate lunch, and a light, early dinner. Often completed by late afternoon or early evening, followed by no late-night snacking. This front-loaded eating aligns with circadian rhythms, optimizing digestion when metabolism is highest, and allowing an extended overnight mini-fast for repair. To implement Hara-Hachi-Bu effectively, begin meals with water or herbal tea to hydrate and partially fill the stomach. Pause midway through eating, set utensils down for a few minutes, and honestly assess, am I still truly hungry? Or am I eating out of habit? Rate fullness on a mental scale of 1 to 10, aiming to stop around 7 to 8. Focus on nutrient-dense foods, veggies, beans, whole grains that satisfy longer, making the 80% threshold easier to honor. Real-world examples inspire. Many Okinawan elders, even those over 100, maintain trim figures and boundless energy partly through this ingrained habit. Imagine finishing dinner feeling comfortably energized rather than sluggish and bloated. Ready for evening walks, family conversations, or restful sleep instead of couch-bound discomfort. Benefits extend beyond weight. Improved blood sugar control reduces diabetes risk. Lessened digestive burden enhances nutrient absorption and gut microbiome diversity. Lower inflammation supports joint health, clearer skin, sharper cognition. Combined with other Blue Zones habits, like plant-focused eating and natural movement, this mindset shift creates synergistic longevity amplification. Start small. Apply Harahachi-bu to one meal daily, perhaps dinner, where overeating often peaks. Track how you feel. Lighter, more alert, better sleep. Over weeks, it becomes intuitive, freeing mental energy from constant dieting battles. This elegantly simple practice requires no special foods, apps, or expense, just awareness and presence. In a world pushing more, choosing enough at 80% embodies wisdom that sustains vitality decade after decade. As we progress upward, remember, these habits interconnect beautifully. Mindful eating enhances enjoyment of plant-rich meals while fueling natural movement. Number 17. Enjoy moderate alcohol, preferably red wine. We're now at number 17 in our countdown of the 20 Blue Zones habits that can help you live longer, healthier, and happier after 60. This one often surprises people because it challenges common health messaging, yet it's one of the most consistent patterns across the longevity hotspots. Moderate alcohol consumption, with a strong preference for red wine, enjoyed daily in a social context. Important clarification right away. This habit applies to 4 of the 5 original Blue Zones: Okinawa, Sardinia, Icaria, and Nicoya. The exception is Loma Linda, California, where the Seventh-day Adventist community largely abstains from alcohol due to religious principles, proving that you absolutely do not need alcohol to reach 100 in excellent health. No Blue Zone forces drinking. The benefits come only from moderation, never excess. In the regions where alcohol is part of the culture, it's consumed in a very specific way. Moderately, typically 1 to 2 small glasses per day, regularly rather than binging, with meals, and most importantly, with family and friends. It's never solitary drinking or heavy consumption. This pattern stands in stark contrast to many modern drinking habits, where alcohol is often used as a stress reliever alone or in large quantities on weekends. Let's look at the standout example. Sardinia's Canino wine. This robust red wine, produced in the mountainous Blue Zone villages of Sardinia, is made from Grenache grapes grown in harsh, rocky soil. The stressful growing conditions cause the vines to produce exceptionally high levels of polyphenols, powerful plant compounds with antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. Canino contains 2 to 3 times more polyphenols than most other red wines, including significantly elevated levels of resveratrol, procyanidins, and quercetin. These compounds have been extensively studied for their cardiovascular protective effects. Resveratrol, in particular, activates sirtuins, proteins linked to longevity pathways, and helps improve endothelial function, reduce arterial stiffness, and lower LDL oxidation. Polyphenols also combat chronic inflammation, one of the primary drivers of age-related diseases. Sardinian shepherds and villagers have enjoyed small glasses of Canino with lunch and dinner for generations, often diluted slightly with water or mixed with a splash of sparkling mineral water, a tradition that further moderates intake. Similar patterns appear elsewhere. In Icaria, Greece, locals drink homemade red wine rich in antioxidants during long, leisurely meals with neighbors. In Nicoya, moderate consumption of homemade spirits or wine occurs socially. Even in Okinawa, while sake or awamori is traditional, modern elders often enjoy small amounts of red wine, influenced by global awareness of its benefits. The science backing moderate alcohol, specifically red wine, is substantial, though nuanced. Large cohort studies, including the ongoing updates from the Copenhagen City Heart Study and Mediterranean Diet Research through 2025 to 2026, consistently show that moderate drinkers, defined as 1 drink per day for women, up to 2 for men, who consume alcohol with meals, have lower risks of cardiovascular disease, heart attack, and stroke compared to both heavy drinkers and complete abstainers. The famous J-shaped curve illustrates this. Mortality risk is highest for heavy drinkers, moderate for abstainers, and lowest for moderate consumers. Why the benefit over abstainers? Several mechanisms. Red wine raises HDL, good cholesterol, improves insulin sensitivity, reduces blood clotting via platelet inhibition, and delivers those potent polyphenols not found in other alcoholic beverages. Beer and spirits lack the grape-derived antioxidants that make red wine uniquely protective. Crucially, the social context amplifies benefits. Drinking with loved ones reduces stress hormones like cortisol, boosts oxytocin, the bonding hormone, and fosters laughter and connection, all independently linked to longer life. Blue Zones researcher Dan Buettner emphasizes that the happiness and stress reduction from shared meals with wine may contribute as much as the alcohol itself. For Americans applying this habit, first and foremost, moderation is non-negotiable. Current guidelines from the American Heart Association and Dietary Guidelines for Americans, updated 2025, define moderate drinking as up to 1 standard drink per day for women and up to 2 for men. A standard drink is 5 ounces of wine, about a small restaurant pour. Always consume with food, never on an empty stomach, to slow absorption and protect the liver. Choose quality red wines with higher polyphenol content. Pinot Noir, Cabernet Sauvignon, Malbec, or Petite Sirah tend to rank high. Organic or biodynamic wines may have even greater antioxidant levels due to stressed vines. Avoid sweet wines or those with added sugars. If you currently don't drink, do not start for health reasons. The risks, even moderate alcohol increases certain cancer risks slightly, may outweigh benefits for non-drinkers. Instead, capture similar advantages through non-alcoholic alternatives. Dark grape juice, especially Concord, pomegranate juice, or dealcoholized red wine provide many of the same polyphenols without ethanol. Eating dark berries, blueberries, blackberries, grapes with skins, or moderate amounts of dark chocolate, 70% plus cocoa, delivers resveratrol and other protective compounds. For those who enjoy alcohol, reframe it Blue Zone style. Make it social and ritualistic. Pour a small glass to share with your spouse or friends during dinner. Savor it slowly, focusing on conversation and connection rather than quantity. Avoid solitary drinking or using alcohol as a primary stress reliever. Special considerations for seniors. As we age, alcohol tolerance decreases due to reduced liver efficiency and medication interactions. Many common medications, blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, antidepressants, interact dangerously with alcohol. Always consult your doctor. Some individuals should abstain entirely. The bottom line, moderate red wine enjoyed socially with meals appears to contribute to the exceptional heart health seen in most Blue Zones. But it's the combination, wine plus plant-rich food plus laughter plus connection, that creates the magic. Alcohol alone, without the lifestyle context, does not confer the same benefits. This habit teaches balance, enjoyment without excess, pleasure with purpose, indulgence within wisdom. It's a reminder that longevity isn't about perfection or deprivation. It's about sustainable joy. As we move higher in the countdown, notice how these habits interweave. Plant-based meals naturally pair beautifully with moderate wine, shared with loved ones, fueling natural movement and purpose. Number 16. Make legumes a daily staple. We're now at number 16 in our life-changing countdown of the 20 Blue Zones habits that can help you add years of vibrant health after 60. And this one is truly the quiet powerhouse behind so much of the extraordinary longevity we see in these remarkable communities. Making legumes a daily staple. Legumes, beans of all kinds, lentils, chickpeas, garbanzo beans, peas, and even peanuts, are the undisputed cornerstone of every single Blue Zones diet. Across Okinawa, Sardinia, Ikaria, Nicoya, and Loma Linda, these humble, affordable seeds appear on plates almost every day, often multiple times a day. They are not an occasional side dish or a healthy alternative when you feel like it. They are the reliable, nourishing foundation that sustains centenarians through decades of active, independent living. Why are legumes so central? Because they deliver an almost perfect nutritional package for long-term health. High-quality plant-based protein, abundant soluble and insoluble fiber, complex carbohydrates that release energy slowly, plus a wealth of vitamins, minerals, and protective phytochemicals. Together, these elements work in harmony to stabilize blood sugar levels throughout the day, lower LDL cholesterol, feed beneficial gut bacteria, reduce inflammation, support steady weight management, and protect against the chronic conditions that shorten lives in most parts of the world. The fiber in legumes is especially powerful. Soluble fiber binds to cholesterol in the digestive tract and escorts it out of the body, while insoluble fiber adds bulk to stool, preventing constipation, a common and uncomfortable issue for many seniors. The prebiotic fibers also nourish the microbiome, producing short-chain fatty acids like butyrate that strengthen the gut lining, calm systemic inflammation, and even influence brain health through the gut-brain axis. The protein in legumes is complete when combined with grains, as often happens naturally in Blue Zone's meals, and it comes without the saturated fat and heme iron found in red meat that can promote oxidation and inflammation. The slow-digesting carbs prevent the blood sugar roller coaster that leads to energy crashes, mood swings, and increased diabetes risk. Large-scale epidemiological studies, including the Adventist Health Study 2, which tracks the Loma Linda Blue Zone, and global analyses of dietary patterns, show that people who eat legumes regularly, at least half a cup to 1 cup cooked per day, have significantly lower risks of heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, and certain cancers. Some of the most compelling data suggest that consistent legume consumption is associated with an average 4 to 8 years of added life expectancy, even after adjusting for other lifestyle factors. In the Blue Zones themselves, the average intake is around 1 cup of cooked legumes per day, sometimes more. This isn't difficult when beans are woven into breakfast, lunch, and dinner. In Nicoya, the classic breakfast of gallo pinto, rice and black beans, sets the tone. In Sardinia, minestrone soup brims with chickpeas and fava beans. In Icaria, giant white beans or lentils simmer with tomatoes, olive oil, and herbs. In Okinawa, soy foods like tofu and miso provide legume nutrition. Loma Linda Adventists rely heavily on beans, lentils, and soy in vegetarian dishes. The beauty of legumes is their incredible affordability and versatility. A pound of dried beans costs just a fraction of meat and stretches into multiple meals. They store for years without spoiling, making them pantry staples you can always rely on. And they adapt to any flavor profile. Mexican-style black beans, Indian dal, Italian pasta e fagioli, Middle Eastern hummus, American chili, the possibilities are endless. For American seniors looking to adopt this habit, start with small familiar swaps. Replace ground beef in tacos or spaghetti sauce with seasoned black beans or lentils. They absorb flavors beautifully and provide satisfying texture. Make hearty bean soups or stews on weekends for easy reheats during the week. Blend chickpeas into creamy hummus for dipping vegetables. Roast chickpeas in the oven with spices for a crunchy, protein-packed snack. A classic Nicoyan combination known as the Three Sisters or Trinity, beans, squash, and corn, offers balanced nutrition at very low cost and has sustained generations of healthy centenarians. The beans provide protein and fiber, squash adds vitamins and natural sweetness, and corn supplies sustained energy. Together, they create meals that are filling, flavorful, and deeply nourishing. If you're new to legumes, ease in gradually to avoid digestive discomfort. Start with smaller portions and increase over weeks as your gut microbiome adjusts. Soaking dried beans overnight and cooking with herbs like epazote, cumin, or bay leaves can further improve digestibility. Begin with foods you already enjoy. Canned baked beans, choose low-sugar versions. 3-bean salad from the deli. Lentil soup from a favorite restaurant. Experiment with different varieties. Red lentils cook quickly into creamy dal. Green lentils hold shape in salads. Black beans bring earthy depth to chili. Chickpeas transform into silky hummus or crunchy snacks. This habit directly combats some of the most common health challenges seniors face. Constipation from low-fiber diets, elevated cholesterol contributing to heart disease, blood sugar spikes leading to fatigue and diabetes complications. By making legumes daily, you're giving your body steady fuel, gentle cleansing, and long-term protection, all from simple, inexpensive ingredients. Centenarians don't think of beans as health food. They're just food, delicious and satisfying. When you make them a natural part of your routine, you'll likely notice steadier energy, better digestion, easier weight control, and an overall sense of lightness and well-being. As we continue upward in the countdown, see how beautifully legumes pair with other Blue Zones principles. Combined with natural movement, mindful eating, and social connection, they become even more powerful. Number 15. Cultivate strong social ties. We've reached number 15 in our countdown of the 20 transformative Blue Zones habits that can help you live not just longer, but with greater joy, purpose, and resilience after 60. And this one touches the very heart of what makes longevity truly meaningful. Cultivating strong, lifelong social ties, exemplified beautifully by the Okinawan tradition of the moai. In Okinawa, one of the world's most celebrated blue zones, children are often placed into small groups of about 5 peers from a young age, groups called moai, that are intended to last a lifetime. These aren't casual friendships, they're deliberate, committed circles of mutual support. Members meet regularly, share life's joys and burdens, celebrate milestones together, and provide practical help when needed. Whether it's emotional encouragement during hardship, financial assistance in tough times, or simply companionship through the decades. As members age, the moai becomes an unbreakable safety net, ensuring no one faces loneliness, financial ruin, or emotional isolation alone. This moai system is far more than tradition. It's a brilliantly designed social structure that guarantees belonging, accountability, and deep connection from cradle to grave. And it's not unique to Okinawa in spirit. Strong, reliable social networks are a hallmark of every single Blue Zone's community. From the daily piazza gatherings in Sardinia to the tight-knit church families in Loma Linda, the extended multi-generational households in Nicoya, and the village-wide relationships in Ikaria. Why is this habit so powerful? Because humans are fundamentally social creatures, and meaningful relationships influence health more profoundly than almost any other factor. Decades of research, including longitudinal studies tracking tens of thousands of people, consistently show that the quality and quantity of our close relationships are the strongest predictors of longevity and well-being, often outweighing the effects of diet, exercise, or even smoking cessation. Strong social ties reduce chronic stress by lowering cortisol levels, decrease inflammation throughout the body, strengthen immune function, improve cardiovascular health by stabilizing blood pressure and heart rate variability, and protect cognitive function by keeping the brain engaged and resilient. They provide purpose, laughter, emotional regulation, and a sense of being needed, all of which contribute to lower rates of depression, anxiety, and dementia. Conversely, loneliness and social isolation are now recognized as major public health crises, especially among older adults. The health risks of chronic loneliness are comparable to smoking 15 cigarettes a day or being obese. They increase mortality risk dramatically by promoting inflammation, weakening immunity, disrupting sleep, elevating blood pressure, and accelerating cognitive decline. In fact, loneliness is linked to a 26 to 29% increased risk of premature death, making it as dangerous as many well-known lifestyle risk factors. Blue Zone centenarians rarely experience this because their environments and traditions make deep connection inevitable. In Sardinia, elderly men and women gather daily in village squares or cafes, sharing stories, playing cards, debating, and laughing for hours. In Ikaria, long dinners with neighbors stretch late into the night, filled with music, dancing, and conversation. In Nicoya, multi-generational homes mean grandparents are surrounded by children and grandchildren daily. In Loma Linda, faith communities provide weekly gatherings, shared meals, and volunteer opportunities that foster belonging. For Americans over 60, combating isolation requires intention because modern life often pulls us apart. Retirement, children moving away, loss of spouses or friends, mobility limitations, or simply the cultural emphasis on independence. Many seniors report feeling disconnected, despite living in busy cities or suburbs. The good news, you can actively rebuild and strengthen your social network at any age, and the benefits begin almost immediately. Start by reaching out consistently. Make weekly phone calls or video chats a non-negotiable habit. Invite friends for coffee, walks, or simple home-cooked meals. Join structured groups that align with your interests. Senior centers, book clubs, walking groups, church or synagogue activities, volunteer organizations, gardening clubs, art classes, or even pickleball leagues, one of the fastest-growing social sports among older adults. Host regular gatherings, potluck dinners, game nights, or Sunday brunches where conversation flows freely. If mobility is limited, create virtual moai through regular Zoom calls or phone trees with a small circle of trusted friends. To build your own modern moai, identify 3 to 5 people you genuinely enjoy and trust. Commit to regular contact, perhaps a monthly dinner rotation or weekly walk. Be vulnerable enough to share challenges and celebrate wins. Offer support proactively, check in during tough times, help with errands, or simply listen. Reciprocity deepens bonds. Sardinian centenarians exemplify this beautifully. Even in their 90s and 100s, they walk to the village piazza daily, sitting on benches or at cafes for hours, exchanging stories, teasing each other, and laughing heartily. This daily ritual isn't just entertainment, it's medicine for the soul and body. The mental health benefits are profound. Strong relationships buffer stress, provide perspective during hardship, and give life meaning. They enhance resilience, making it easier to adopt other healthy habits like eating well or staying active, because you have encouragement and accountability. Emotionally, belonging reduces depression and anxiety, boosts self-worth, and fosters optimism. Physically, it translates to lower blood pressure, stronger immunity, better sleep, and slower cognitive decline. As we age, friendships often become more precious than ever. They combat the natural narrowing of social circles due to loss or relocation. Investing in them now pays dividends in joy, support, and health for decades. This habit isn't about having hundreds of acquaintances. It's about a few deep, reliable connections where you feel seen, valued, and supported. Start small. Reach out to one person today. Send a text, make a call, plan a walk. Build from there. As we climb higher in the countdown, notice how social ties amplify every other habit. Sharing meals makes eating plans enjoyable, walking with friends makes movement sustainable, having purpose often emerges from relationships. Strong social ties aren't a luxury, they're essential medicine for a long, joyful life. Number 14, discover and live your purpose. Ikigai or plan de vida. We are now at number 14 in our life-extending countdown of the 20 Blue Zones habits that can profoundly enrich your years after 60. And this one goes straight to the soul of what makes those extra decades truly worth living. Discovering and actively living your sense of purpose, known in Okinawa as Ikigai and in Nicoya as plan de vida. In Okinawa, the word Ikigai translates roughly to the reason you wake up in the morning, or that which makes life worth living. It's not a grand, abstract philosophy reserved for scholars. It's a quiet, daily awareness of why your life matters. Nicoyans express a similar concept through plan de vida, which means life plan, or reason to live. When researchers ask centenarians in these regions the secret to their long, happy lives, the answer almost always circles back to having a clear sense of purpose. A deep inner compass that gives direction, motivation, and resilience, no matter what challenges arise. This isn't about achieving fame, wealth, or monumental accomplishments. For Blue Zone's elders, purpose is often beautifully simple and deeply personal. Tending a beloved garden that provides fresh food for the family, caring for grandchildren and passing down stories and values, contributing to the community through small acts of service, playing music for neighbors, or simply being the steady presence that holds a family together. It's about feeling needed, valued, and connected to something larger than yourself. The science behind purpose is remarkably strong and consistent. Large-scale longitudinal studies, tracking tens of thousands of people over decades, have found that individuals with a strong sense of purpose in life live significantly longer, on average adding up to 7 years of life expectancy, even after controlling for other factors like diet, exercise, and socioeconomic status. Purpose acts as a buffer against stress, reducing the harmful effects of cortisol and inflammation on the body. It strengthens the immune system by promoting better sleep, lower blood pressure, and healthier behaviors. It protects heart health by improving cardiovascular resilience and reducing the risk of events like heart attacks and strokes. Perhaps most importantly for seniors, purpose dramatically lowers the risk of depression, anxiety, and cognitive decline, helping preserve mental sharpness and emotional well-being deep into later years. Centenarians embody this every single day. They don't retire into idleness, they rise with intention. An Okinawan grandmother in her 90s might spend her morning preparing miso soup for the family, knowing her care nourishes their bodies and bonds. A Sardinian shepherd continues tending a small flock or vineyard because it connects him to the land his ancestors worked. A Nicoyan elder wakes to feed chickens and gather eggs, contributing to the household in meaningful ways. In Loma Linda, many Adventist centenarians find purpose through faith-based service, teaching Sabbath school, visiting the sick, or volunteering at community health programs. In Ikaria, an elder might play the lyra at village gatherings, bringing joy through music. These activities aren't chores, they're sources of joy, pride, and belonging. Purpose gives structure to days, motivation to overcome obstacles, and a profound sense of fulfillment that no amount of leisure can replicate. For many Americans over 60, discovering or rediscovering purpose can feel challenging. Retirement often removes the built-in structure of work. Children grow up and move away. Health changes limit previous activities, and society sometimes sends the message that older adults should take it easy rather than stay engaged. But the blue zones show us the opposite. Staying purposeful is one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves at any age. The beautiful truth is that purpose is highly individual and evolves over time. It doesn't have to be grand or world-changing. It simply needs to align with your values, bring a sense of contribution, and spark moments of joy or flow. Start by reflecting deeply. What activities make time fly by because you're so absorbed? What do people naturally come to you for? Advice, listening, practical help? What needs in your family, neighborhood, or community could you meaningfully address, even in small ways? Journal daily with prompts like, what makes me feel most alive? Who or what depends on me? And how does that feel? If I had 1 year left, how would I spend my days? Common sources of purpose for American seniors include volunteering, whether at animal shelters, food banks, schools, hospitals, or libraries, mentoring grandchildren or younger colleagues, sharing life wisdom, pursuing creative hobbies, painting, writing memoirs, woodworking, music that can be shared with others, learning new skills, languages, technology, gardening to stay mentally sharp and contribute freshly, caring for family, cooking meals, storytelling, preserving traditions, faith or spiritual practices, prayer groups, meditation, service. In Loma Linda, many find profound purpose through religious faith and community service, which provides both transcendence and tangible ways to help others. Others discover it in secular ways, environmental advocacy, historical societies, or simply being the reliable friend who checks in regularly. Purpose also builds resilience. When challenges arise, health setbacks, loss, financial strain, a clear why helps you persevere. It shifts focus from limitations to possibilities, from what's lost to what's still meaningful. Cultivating purpose is a daily practice. Set small intentions each morning. Today, I'll call my old friend. I'll spend time teaching my granddaughter to bake. I'll volunteer 2 hours at the senior center. Celebrate contributions, no matter how modest. Share your purpose with loved ones. They often reinforce it through appreciation. As you live your purpose, you'll likely notice ripple effects. More energy for movement, better appetite for healthy foods, deeper sleep, brighter mood. Purpose fuels everything else on this list. It's the spark that keeps the flame of life burning brightly. This habit isn't about adding pressure. It's about adding meaning. Find what lights you up, commit to it daily, and watch how it transforms ordinary days into extraordinary ones. We're getting closer to the very top habits. Stay with me as we uncover even more powerful keys to joyful longevity. Number 13. Downshift daily. Manage stress effectively. We've arrived at number 13 in our powerful countdown of the 20 Blue Zones habits that can add years of vibrant, joyful living after 60. And this one addresses something every single one of us faces, no matter where we live. Game-changing insight from the Blue Zones is not that Centenarians avoid stress entirely. They don't. Life brings challenges everywhere, but that they have built-in daily rituals to downshift, release tension, and return to a state of calm before stress accumulates and becomes chronic. Blue Zones residents experience the same worries we do: family concerns, financial pressures, health setbacks, loss, but their cultures provide simple, consistent practices that prevent stress from taking root and harming the body over time. These downshifting rituals are woven into the fabric of daily life, making relaxation as natural as eating or sleeping. In Okinawa, many elders pause during the day to remember and honor ancestors, lighting incense, offering quiet words, or visiting family altars. This brief act of reflection fosters gratitude, perspective, and emotional release. In Ikuria, Greece, the afternoon nap, or siesta, is sacred, even if just 20 to 30 minutes. People close shops, draw curtains, and rest without guilt, emerging refreshed. In Sardinia, late afternoon often brings happy hour in the village square. A small glass of wine or herbal tea shared with friends, filled with laughter and light conversation. In Loma Linda, California, Seventh-day Adventists incorporate prayer, scripture reading, or quiet contemplation into their routines, often multiple times a day. In Nicoya, elders might sit on the porch watching the sunset, chatting with family, or taking a gentle evening stroll. What unites these rituals? They are short, enjoyable, repeatable, and effective at signaling to the body it's safe to relax now. They interrupt the stress cycle before it spirals. Chronic stress is one of the most insidious accelerators of aging. When we stay in fight or flight mode too long, the body floods with cortisol and adrenaline. Over months and years, this promotes systemic inflammation, damages blood vessels, weakens the immune system, disrupts sleep, contributes to weight gain, especially abdominal fat, impairs memory and cognition, shortens telomeres, the protective caps on chromosomes, and directly increases risks of heart disease, stroke, diabetes, depression, and dementia. In modern American life, filled with constant notifications, traffic, financial pressures, caregiving responsibilities, and 24/7 news, many of us live with elevated stress hormones far more than our biology was designed to handle. The beautiful solution from the blue zones is daily downshifting. Intentional pauses that activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest counterpart to fight or flight. These practices lower cortisol, reduce blood pressure, calm heart rate, improve digestion, enhance sleep quality, and promote emotional balance. Done consistently, they create a cumulative protective effect, slowing biological aging and preserving both physical and mental vitality. For Americans looking to adopt this habit, the options are endless and adaptable to any lifestyle. Start with something small and enjoyable that fits your schedule. Many find success with guided meditation apps. Spending just 10 minutes a day on simple mindfulness or breathing exercises can profoundly lower daily stress. Apps like Calm, Headspace, or Insight Timer offer senior-friendly sessions focused on relaxation, gratitude, or sleep. Nature walks are another powerful downshift. Even 15 to 20 minutes outdoors, ideally in green spaces or near water, reduces cortisol significantly while boosting mood through natural light and gentle movement. If mobility is limited, sitting on a porch or by a window, watching birds or trees provides similar benefits. Gratitude journaling, writing down 3 things you're thankful for each evening, shifts perspective from worry to appreciation, rewiring neural pathways toward positivity. Herbal tea rituals, chamomile, peppermint, or lemon balm, in the late afternoon or evening signal winding down, especially when paired with quiet music or reading. Evening wind-down routines are crucial. Dim lights an hour before bed, avoid screens. Blue light suppresses melatonin, and engage in calming activities. Reading a physical book, light stretching, listening to soothing podcasts, or cuddling with a pet. Pets, by the way, are natural stress reducers. Stroking a dog or cat lowers blood pressure and releases oxytocin. Dan Buettner particularly emphasizes the value of short afternoon naps, 20 to 30 minutes, which recharge energy and alertness without causing grogginess or interfering with nighttime sleep. Many Blue Zones cultures embrace this without stigma. In America, we can reclaim it as a health investment rather than laziness. Create your personal downshift ritual by choosing 1 or 2 activities you genuinely enjoy and scheduling them daily. Examples: deep belly breathing, 4 to 7-8 technique, inhale 4 seconds, hold 7, exhale 8, progressive muscle relaxation, listening to favorite calming music, knitting or crafting, watering plants mindfully, or spending quiet time with a loved one. The key is consistency and enjoyment. Make it something you look forward to, not another chore. Over time, your body learns to associate the ritual with safety and calm, making the transition out of stress faster and more automatic. This habit protects your most vital organs, the brain, reducing dementia risk through lower inflammation and better sleep, the heart, lowering blood pressure and cardiovascular strain, and the immune system, preventing suppression from chronic cortisol. It enhances emotional resilience, making life's inevitable challenges feel more manageable. In a culture that often glorifies busyness, choosing to downshift daily is a radical act of self-care and one of the most potent longevity tools available. As we move closer to the top habits, notice how downshifting supports everything else. Better sleep, clearer thinking for purpose, more energy for movement and relationships. Protect your peace. It's one of the greatest gifts you can give your future self. Number 12, put family first. We have now reached number 12 in our transformative countdown of the 20 Blue Zones habits that can help you live longer, healthier, and with far more joy after 60. And this one strikes at the very core of human happiness and longevity, putting family first. Across every single Blue Zones community, Okinawa, Sardinia, Ikaria, Nicoya, and Loma Linda, strong, close-knit family relationships are not just common, they are the absolute priority. Family comes before work, before personal ambition, before almost everything else. Elders are are deeply respected, cherished, and almost always cared for at home by their children and grandchildren rather than in institutions. Multi-generational households are the norm, with grandparents, parents, children, and sometimes great-grandchildren living under the same roof or in very close proximity. This isn't seen as a burden, it's viewed as a blessing, a source of love, purpose, and mutual support that enriches everyone involved. In these cultures, committing to your spouse for life is celebrated and expected. Investing time, energy, and resources in raising children and nurturing grandchildren is considered one of the most meaningful contributions a person can make. Elders are not sidelined or forgotten. They are central figures, storytellers, wisdom keepers, caregivers, and emotional anchors for the entire family. Their presence provides continuity, stability, and a profound sense of belonging for younger generations, while giving the elders themselves daily purpose, affection, and practical help as needed. The impact on health and longevity is extraordinary. Numerous large-scale studies tracking family structures and health outcomes have found that strong family ties consistently lower disease risk and mortality for all members, not just the elders. People who prioritize close family relationships have lower rates of heart disease, stroke, depression, dementia, and overall premature death. The mechanisms are both emotional and physiological. Loving family connections reduce chronic stress, lower inflammation, stabilize blood pressure, improve sleep quality, encourage healthier behaviors like cooking together or walking as a group, and provide a built-in support system during illness or hardship. Centenarians with tight-knit families don't just live longer, they live happier. They report higher life satisfaction, lower rates of loneliness, and a deeper sense of meaning. When researchers ask Blue Zone's elders about their secrets to long life, family almost always tops the list, often before diet or exercise. The daily laughter with grandchildren, the shared meals, the hugs, the feeling of being needed, these are the moments that make extra years truly worth living. A beautiful example comes from Nicoya, Costa Rica, where the local saying reflects this priority perfectly. Plan de vida includes family. Your life plan, your reason for living, naturally centers on family. Nicoyan centenarians often live in homes filled with children and grandchildren, helping with light chores, sharing stories, and receiving care in return. This reciprocal relationship creates a virtuous cycle of love and support. In Sardinia, elderly parents frequently live with or next door to adult children, sharing meals daily and participating in family decisions. In Okinawa, grandparents play active roles in childcare, passing down traditions while staying physically and mentally engaged. In Ikaria, extended family gatherings for meals, holidays, and spontaneous visits are daily occurrences. In Loma Linda, strong family bonds are reinforced through shared faith practices and community events. For many Americans over 60, putting family first can feel challenging in a culture that often emphasizes independence, geographic mobility for careers, and nuclear rather than extended families. Adult children may live states away, busy schedules limit visits, and societal norms sometimes discourage multi-generational living. Yet the Blue Zones remind us that prioritizing family is one of the most powerful investments we can make in our own health and happiness, and in the well-being of those we love. Practical ways to embrace this habit start with intentional time together. Make regular family meals a non-negotiable tradition. Whether weekly Sunday dinners, daily phone or video calls at a set time, or monthly gatherings. Plan visits proactively, even if travel is involved. Involve grandchildren in meaningful activities. Cooking traditional recipes together, gardening, playing games, looking through old photos while sharing stories, or working on simple projects. These shared experiences create lasting memories and strengthen bonds. If distance is an issue, use technology creatively. Scheduled video calls, shared online photo albums, or group chats for daily check-ins. Consider ways to bring generations closer physically when possible, welcoming adult children or grandchildren to live nearby or in your home, or exploring multi-generational housing options. Prioritizing family also means nurturing your relationship with your spouse or partner. Date nights, daily check-ins, expressions of appreciation. Strong marital bonds are linked to dramatically better health outcomes in later life. Strong family ties act as a powerful buffer against life's stresses, provide built-in purpose being needed by loved ones, and offer practical and emotional support that enhances resilience. They reduce loneliness, encourage healthier habits, family members often motivate each other, and create a legacy of love that extends beyond your own years. Making time for family now means fewer regrets later. Centenarians rarely wish they had worked more or achieved more professionally. They almost always say they're grateful for the time spent with loved ones. This habit doesn't require perfection or constant togetherness. It requires priority. Small, consistent efforts compound into deep, lifelong connections that nourish the heart and extend healthy years. As we approach the very top of the countdown, see how family-first living amplifies every other habit. Shared meals make healthy eating enjoyable. Family activities encourage movement. Loved ones reinforce purpose and stress relief. Put family first. It's one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself and those you cherish. Number 11. Belong to a faith or spiritual community. We are now at number 11 in our life-changing countdown of the 20 Blue Zones habits that can help you live longer, healthier, and with deeper fulfillment after 60. And this one reveals a pattern that surprises many people because it goes beyond diet and exercise. Belonging to a faith-based or spiritual community and participating regularly in its gatherings and practices. Remarkably, 4 out of the 5 original Blue Zones, Okinawa, Sardinia, Ikaria, and Nicoya, have strong traditions of religious or spiritual involvement woven into daily life. The one exception is Loma Linda, California, but even there, the Seventh-day Adventist faith plays a central role for the vast majority of residents. In every case, regular participation in a community grounded in shared beliefs and values is a common thread among centenarians. This isn't about any specific doctrine or denomination being the right one. What matters most is the act of belonging, showing up consistently, connecting with others around a shared sense of something greater than oneself, and engaging in rituals that provide meaning, comfort, and structure. The faith itself varies widely. Shinto-influenced ancestor reverence in Okinawa, Greek Orthodox traditions in Ikaria, Catholicism in Sardinia and Nicoya, and Protestant Adventism in Loma Linda. The common denominator is community, ritual, and a worldview that emphasizes purpose, gratitude, forgiveness, compassion, and hope. The longevity benefits are astonishingly consistent. Large, long-term studies following tens of thousands of people over decades have found that regular participation in religious or spiritual community activities adds, on average, 4 to 14 years of life expectancy. This effect holds even after adjusting for other healthy behaviors like not smoking or exercising, meaning faith community involvement provides unique protective advantages. How does it work? A faith or spiritual community offers multiple overlapping benefits that directly impact physical and mental health. First, it provides profound meaning and purpose, a sense that life has significance beyond daily struggles, which, as we've seen with Ikigai and Plan de Vida, is itself a powerful longevity booster. Second, it creates built-in social ties. Weekly gatherings, shared meals, volunteer work, and support during life's challenges combat loneliness and build the deep relationships we know extend life. Third, it offers structured stress relief through prayer, meditation, singing, communal worship, or quiet reflection, practices that lower cortisol, reduce inflammation, and promote emotional resilience. Fourth, many faith communities encourage healthy behaviors, abstaining from smoking or excessive alcohol, emphasizing rest, like the Adventist Sabbath, promoting service to others, and fostering optimism and forgiveness. In Loma Linda, the Seventh-day Adventist community exemplifies this beautifully. Their Saturday Sabbath is a day of complete rest. No work, no commerce, just worship, nature walks, family time, and community fellowship. This weekly downshift resets stress levels and strengthens bonds. Adventists also emphasize vegetarian diets, exercise, and trust in a higher power, all reinforced by the community. The result? Loma Linda women have among the highest life expectancies in the world. In Ikaria, Greek Orthodox traditions bring people together for frequent church services, festivals, and saints' days filled with music, dancing, and feasting. These events create rhythm and celebration in life. In Sardinia and Nicoya, Catholic practices, daily or weekly mass, prayer, and religious holidays anchor the week and provide comfort during hardship. For Americans over 60, belonging to a faith or spiritual community is one of the most accessible and powerful ways to enhance longevity. You don't need to change your beliefs overnight. The key is finding a group whose values resonate with you and showing up consistently. Options abound. Traditional religious congregations, churches, synagogues, mosques, temples offer weekly services, study groups, volunteer opportunities, and social events. If organized religion isn't your path, consider meditation or mindfulness centers, yoga communities with a spiritual focus, or secular groups built around shared ethics, humanist societies, philosophical discussion circles, or service-oriented clubs like Rotary or Kiwanis. Many seniors find profound connection in interfaith groups, bereavement support circles, or choir practices that blend spirituality with creativity. Online communities can supplement in-person ones, especially if mobility is limited, but nothing replaces the benefits of face-to-face interaction. Weekly gatherings are especially powerful because they create rhythm and anticipation, something to look forward to, prepare for, and reflect on afterward. They foster belonging, the deep feeling of being part of something larger, which reduces isolation and boosts emotional well-being. Even if you're not particularly religious, the act of participating in shared rituals, singing together, listening to inspiring messages, serving others, releases oxytocin, lowers stress hormones, and strengthens social bonds. The community becomes an extended family, providing support during illness, loss, or transition. Loma Linda Seventh-day Adventists show how faith community can transform health. Their emphasis on Sabbath rest, vegetarianism, and service is reinforced weekly through worship and fellowship, making healthy choices feel natural and supported. Finding your community starts with exploration. Visit different groups, attend services or meetings, talk to members. Look for warmth, inclusivity, and alignment with your values. Once you find it, commit. Regular attendance is where the magic happens. This habit nourishes both soul and body. It gives life deeper meaning, wraps you in supportive relationships, offers tools for handling stress gracefully, and often encourages other healthy behaviors. It's a weekly renewal that sustains you through life's seasons. As we climb toward the very top habits, notice how belonging to a community amplifies everything else. Shared purpose, stress relief, family-like bonds, and motivation for healthy living. Find your community. Show up. Let it hold you as you hold others. It's one of the most beautiful paths to a long, rich life. Number 10. Gentle, consistent exercise. We've now reached number 10 in our countdown of the 20 transformative Blue Zones habits that can help you live longer, stronger, and with far greater independence after 60. And this one builds beautifully on the natural daily movement we discussed earlier. Gentle, consistent exercise through enjoyable, low to moderate intensity activities that become lifelong routines rather than short-lived intense regimens. Blue Zone centenarians prove beyond doubt that you don't need high-intensity workouts, heavy weightlifting, CrossFit sessions, or marathon training to achieve extraordinary longevity and vitality. Their approach to more structured movement is gentle, sustainable, and deeply integrated into life. Activities that feel good, foster community, and provide just enough challenge to keep the body resilient without causing injury or burnout. Beyond the natural movement embedded in daily chores, gardening, walking to markets, household tasks, Blue Zone's elders engage in purposeful, rhythmic activities that enhance flexibility, balance, strength, and cardiovascular health. In Okinawa, one of the most famous examples is Radio Taiso, a daily broadcast of simple, flowing calisthenics performed by millions, including elders, every morning. These 5 to 10-minute sequences involve gentle arm swings, torso twists, leg lifts, and stretches done in synchrony, often in groups at parks or community centers. Radio Taiso has been aired nationwide since 1928 and remains a cherished ritual that promotes mobility, coordination, and social connection without strain. In Icaria and Sardinia, long, leisurely walks over hilly terrain, often with friends or family, are the norm. These aren't power walks with heart rate monitors. They're conversational-paced strolls that last 30 to 60 minutes or more, building endurance naturally. In Nicoya, elders might ride bicycles or horses for transportation or practice simple yoga-like stretching after chores. In Loma Linda, many Adventists enjoy swimming, walking in nature, or gentle aerobics classes as part of their health-focused lifestyle. The common thread: consistency over intensity. These activities are done almost daily at a moderate pace that raises the heart rate slightly but allows talking comfortably. No pain, no gain mentality. Just steady, enjoyable movement that the body adapts to and thrives on over decades. Science strongly supports this approach, especially for those over 60. High-intensity exercise can be beneficial for some, but it carries higher risks of injury, joint stress, and dropout rates in older adults. Gentle, consistent activity, on the other hand, delivers profound benefits with minimal downside. Walking just 30 minutes per day at a brisk but conversational pace has been shown in multiple large studies, including the Harvard Alumni Health Study and the Nurses' SPAT Health Study, to reduce risks of heart disease by up to 30 to 40%, stroke by 25 to 30%, type 2 diabetes by 30%, certain cancers by 20%, and dementia by as much as 30%. It also strengthens bones, reducing osteoporosis, improves balance and coordination, dramatically lowering fall risk, a leading cause of injury and loss of independence in seniors, enhances mood through endorphin release, and supports better sleep. Activities like yoga, tai chi, or simple stretching, common equivalents in blue zones, add unique advantages: improved flexibility, joint lubrication, core strength, and stress reduction through mindful breathing. Tai Chi, in particular, has been extensively studied and shown to reduce fall risk by up to 50% in older adults by enhancing proprioception and lower body stability. For Americans looking to adopt this habit, the key is choosing activities you genuinely enjoy, so consistency becomes effortless. Brisk walking in local parks, nature trails, or around the neighborhood is one of the easiest and most effective. Aim for 30 minutes most days, perhaps splitting into 2 15-minute sessions if needed. Many communities offer senior-friendly walking groups or mall walking programs that add the bonus of social connection. Senior yoga classes, often chair-modified or gentle flow, are widely available at community centers, YMCAs, or online, focusing on flexibility, balance, and breathing without strain. Swimming or water aerobics provides low-impact full-body conditioning that's especially kind to joints. Cycling on flat paths, light dancing, ballroom, line dancing, or even at home to favorite music, or simple home stretching routines all qualify. The Okinawan radio Taiso inspires a wonderful American adaptation. Follow along with free online gentle calisthenics videos designed for seniors. Many are 10 to 15 minutes and include arm circles, side bends, marching in place, and neck rolls. Do them daily upon waking or as a mid-morning break. Building a sustainable routine starts small. Choose 1 or 2 activities you look forward to, schedule them like important appointments, and pair them with pleasures: walking while listening to podcasts or audiobooks, yoga with calming music, swimming with a friend. Track progress gently, steps, sessions completed, to stay motivated without pressure. This habit directly strengthens the heart muscle, improves circulation, maintains bone density, preserves muscle mass, sharpens balance to prevent devastating falls, and elevates mood through natural endorphins. All critical concerns as we age. Combined with natural daily movement, it creates a powerful 1-2 punch for physical resilience. Centenarians don't exercise to stay young. They move because it feels good, connects them to others, and keeps them capable of doing what they love: gardening, dancing at festivals, playing with great-grandchildren. Embrace gentle, consistent exercise as a celebration of your body's abilities, not punishment. Make it joyful, make it social when possible, make it daily, and watch how it carries you gracefully through decades of active living. We're entering the very top habits now. Stay with me as we uncover the practices that add the most powerful years. Number 9. Moderate calorie intake. Overall, we have now arrived at number 9 in our life-changing countdown of the 20 Blue Zones habits that can help you add years of vibrant, disease-resistant living after 60. And this one reveals a subtle but incredibly powerful principle observed across all longevity hotspots. Moderate overall calorie intake, achieved not through strict dieting or deprivation, but through a natural focus on nutrient-dense, whole foods rather than calorie-dense processed ones. Blue Zone centenarians don't count calories, track macros, or follow fad diets. They simply eat real, unprocessed foods that are naturally rich in volume, fiber, water, vitamins, minerals, and protective plant compounds. Foods that fill you up physically and nutritionally on fewer actual calories. Vegetables, beans, whole grains, fruits, nuts, and modest amounts of animal products, when included, provide high satiety per bite, making it easy to eat until comfortably satisfied without excess energy intake. This pattern results in a lifestyle of moderate calorie consumption without conscious restriction, often 10 to 20% below typical Western levels, while still meeting all nutritional needs. No malnutrition, no hunger, just balance. The science behind this is profound and growing stronger with every passing year. Moderate calorie intake, when paired with excellent nutrition, known as calorie restriction with optimal nutrition, or CRON, has been one of the most reproducible ways to extend lifespan and health span across species, from yeast and worms to mice and primates. In humans, landmark studies like the calorie trials, comprehensive assessment of long-term effects of reducing intake of energy, completed in phases through the 2010s, and followed up into 2025 2026 showed that reducing calories by 10 to 25% while maintaining nutrient density produced remarkable benefits: improved insulin sensitivity, reduced inflammation markers, lower blood pressure and cholesterol, enhanced immune function, preserved muscle mass, and biological aging markers slowed by several years, all without feelings of deprivation when done with whole foods. At the cellular level, moderate calorie intake activates powerful longevity pathways. It upregulates sirtuins, proteins involved in DNA repair and stress resistance, boosts autophagy, the body's process of clearing damaged cells and recycling components, enhances mitochondrial efficiency, and reduces oxidative stress. These mechanisms help protect against the chronic diseases that shorten life: heart disease, diabetes, cancer, and neurodegenerative conditions. Importantly, Blue Zones achieve this effortlessly because their traditional foods are inherently low in calorie density. A large bowl of vegetable bean minestrone, a plate of grilled greens with olive oil, or a meal of sweet potatoes and beans satisfies deeply while delivering fewer calories than processed alternatives like chips, sugary cereals, fast food, or oversized restaurant portions. For Americans, where calorie-dense, ultra-processed foods dominate supermarket shelves and restaurant menus, contributing to widespread overconsumption and obesity, shifting toward moderate intake requires mindful choices focused on quality over quantity. Prioritize whole, minimally processed foods that provide volume and satisfaction on fewer calories. Load plates with non-starchy vegetables, broccoli, spinach, peppers, zucchini. Include beans or lentils in most meals. Choose whole grains like oats, quinoa, or brown rice over refined versions. Snack on fresh fruit or a handful of nuts rather than packaged treats. Adopt Blue Zone's eating rhythms: larger, nourishing breakfasts to fuel active mornings. Think oatmeal with berries and nuts, eggs with vegetables, or Greek yogurt with fruit. Moderate lunches and smaller, earlier dinners, ideally finished by late afternoon or early evening. This front-loading aligns with circadian biology, optimizing metabolism when it's most efficient and allowing a longer overnight fast for cellular repair. Avoid late-night snacking, a common American habit that disrupts sleep, blood sugar, and repair processes. Instead, end the day with herbal tea or a small piece of fruit if needed. Many Blue Zones patterns naturally create intermittent eating windows, eating within a 10 to 12-hour period and fasting gently overnight, which mimics time-restricted eating benefits shown in recent 2025 to 2026 research to improve metabolic health, reduce inflammation, and support weight stability. Practical tips: shop the perimeter of grocery stores, produce, beans, whole grains, and limit center aisles of processed items. Cook at home more often. Simple Blue Zones-inspired meals, like bean soups, vegetable stir-fries, or grain bowls are filling and calorie moderate. When dining out, choose vegetable-heavy dishes, share entrees, or take half home. This habit supports healthy weight without obsession, enhances energy stability, no afternoon crashes, promotes deeper cellular repair, and protects against insulin resistance and chronic disease, all while allowing enjoyment of delicious, satisfying food. Centenarians don't feel deprived. They savor every bite of real, flavorful meals and stop when comfortably full. They eat to live fully, not excessively. As we approach the very top of the countdown, notice how moderate intake synergizes with other habits. Plant-rich foods naturally enable it. Mindful eating, harahachi-bu, reinforces it, and it provides clean fuel for movement and social connection. Choose nutrient density daily. It's quiet, steady work that yields extraordinary longevity dividends. Number 8. Use plenty of herbs and spices. We're now at number 8 in our countdown of the 20 transformative Blue Zones habits that can help you live longer, healthier, and with so much more flavor after 60. And this one is a true delight for the senses, while being incredibly powerful for your body. Using plenty of herbs and spices in your everyday cooking. Blue Zones kitchens are alive with aromatic, colorful herbs and spices that don't just make food taste extraordinary. They actively protect health at the cellular level. Traditional meals in these longevity hotspots burst with fresh and dried rosemary, oregano, sage, thyme, basil, mint, turmeric, garlic, ginger, chili peppers, and countless local varieties. These plants are used generously, not sparingly, turning simple vegetable, bean, and grain dishes into deeply satisfying, health-promoting masterpieces without relying on excess salt, sugar, or fat. What makes herbs and spices so special? They are among nature's most concentrated sources of anti-inflammatory and antioxidant antioxidant compounds. Polyphenols, flavonoids, terpenes, curcuminoids, allicin, and dozens of other bioactive molecules work together to neutralize free radicals, calm chronic inflammation, protect DNA from damage, support detoxification pathways, improve blood vessel function, and even influence gene expression in ways that promote longevity. Chronic low-grade inflammation and oxidative stress are two of the primary drivers of aging and age-related diseases: heart disease, diabetes, arthritis, cancer, and cognitive decline. By liberally seasoning food with herbs and spices, Blue Zone's residents naturally consume high doses of these protective compounds every single day, creating a cumulative shield against cellular wear and tear. In Icaria, Greece, wild mountain herbs like rosemary, sage, oregano, and marjoram grow abundantly and are used in almost every meal, steeped in teas, sprinkled on vegetables, infused in olive oil, or added to bean stews. Rosemary, in particular, is prized for its carnosic acid and rosmarinic acid, compounds shown to protect brain cells and support memory. Icarian elders often drink rosemary or sage tea daily, a habit linked to their exceptionally low rates of Alzheimer's. In Okinawa, while true turmeric isn't native, similar anti-inflammatory roots like ghetto, a local ginger relative, and turmeric equivalents are used, along with generous amounts of garlic, ginger, and mugwort. Modern Okinawans have embraced turmeric in curries and teas, benefiting from curcumin's profound effects on inflammation, joint health, and brain protection. Sardinians use rosemary and sage abundantly in meat marinades and vegetable dishes, while Nicoyans incorporate cilantro, chili peppers, and garlic for flavor and digestion. Even in vegetarian-leaning Loma Linda, herbs like basil, oregano, and garlic elevate simple plant-based meals. The beauty is that these flavor powerhouses add virtually 0 calories while dramatically boosting taste, allowing you to cut back on salt, sugar, and unhealthy fats without sacrificing enjoyment. Excessive sodium is a major contributor to high blood pressure in America. Herbs and spices provide an easy, delicious way to reduce it while gaining health bonuses. For Americans looking to adopt this habit, the transition is simple and rewarding. Start by stocking your kitchen with a variety of fresh and dried herbs and spices: rosemary, thyme, oregano, basil, parsley, cilantro, turmeric, ginger, fresh or ground, garlic, fresh cloves are best, cumin, paprika, chili flakes, cinnamon, and black pepper. Experiment freely. Sprinkle fresh herbs on salads, soups, eggs, or roasted vegetables. Add dried herbs early in cooking to release oils. Use spices to create rubs for beans or grilled foods. Practical tips: keep fresh herbs vibrant by storing them like flowers, stems in water, covered loosely in the fridge. Grow a small windowsill herb garden. Basil, parsley, mint thrive indoors for daily fresh snips. Make herb-infused olive oils or compound butters for easy flavor boosts. Use turmeric with a pinch of black pepper. Piperine increases curcumin absorption up to 2000%. Roast vegetables with garlic, rosemary, and thyme for irresistible depth. Add ginger and cinnamon to oatmeal or tea for warmth and blood sugar benefits. Replace salt-heavy seasonings gradually. Your taste buds adapt within weeks, craving the complex layers herbs provide instead. When cooking beans or grains, toss in bay leaves, garlic, and oregano for Blue Zone's authenticity. This habit enhances every meal while delivering daily doses of medicine-like protection. Turmeric's curcumin for joint and brain health, garlic's allicin for immunity and heart support, rosemary's antioxidants for cognition, oregano's carvacrol for antimicrobial effects. Combined, they create a synergistic shield far greater than any single supplement. Centenarians don't view herbs as superfoods. They're simply how food is meant to taste: bold, aromatic, alive. When you embrace this, eating becomes a pleasure that actively nourishes and protects your body. As we move higher, see how abundant herbs and spices elevate plant-based meals, support mindful eating, and add joy to shared family dinners. Season generously. It's one of the easiest, most delicious ways to invest in your longevity. Number 7. Get daily sunlight exposure. We're now at number 7 in our countdown of the 20 life-extending Blue Zones habits that can help you stay strong, sharp, and happy well after 60. And this one is one of the simplest, most accessible, and yet profoundly impactful practices you can adopt: getting regular, moderate, daily sunlight exposure. In every Blue Zones community, people spend significant time outdoors as part of their natural daily rhythm. Whether it's tending gardens in Okinawa, walking hilly paths in Sardinia, herding sheep, or farming in Nicoya, gathering herbs on mountain slopes in Icaria, or enjoying nature walks on the Sabbath in Loma Linda, centenarians and their communities are outside far more than most modern Americans. They're not sunbathing for hours or chasing a tan. They're simply living in sync with natural light, gaining gentle, consistent exposure throughout the day. This habit isn't just pleasant, it's essential physiology. Sunlight on the skin triggers the production of vitamin D, often called the sunshine vitamin, which plays critical roles in bone health, helping absorb calcium and prevent osteoporosis, immune system regulation, reducing risk of infections and autoimmune issues, mood stabilization, combating seasonal affective disorder and depression, and even cardiovascular protection and cancer risk reduction. Emerging research through 2025-2026 continues to link optimal vitamin D levels with lower inflammation, better insulin sensitivity, and reduced cognitive decline. Beyond vitamin D, sunlight exposure regulates our circadian rhythm, the body's master clock, through blue light wavelengths entering the eyes. This synchronizes sleep-wake cycles, hormone release, like melatonin and cortisol, metabolism, and repair processes. Morning light, in particular, suppresses melatonin, boosts serotonin, improving mood and focus, and sets a strong rhythm for restorative sleep at night. Natural light also stimulates nitric oxide release in skin, helping dilate blood vessels and support healthy blood pressure. Blue zones elders benefit from this without thinking about it. Early rising for chores, midday outdoor meals or walks, afternoon gardening, or socializing outside. Their exposure is moderate and spread throughout the day, avoiding the intense midday burn common in sun-seeking vacation habits. For most adults, especially those over 60, 15 to 20 minutes of midday sun exposure on arms, face, and when possible, legs, without sunscreen during safe times provides sufficient vitamin D synthesis for the day. The exact time varies by skin tone, latitude, season, and time of day. Fair skin needs less, darker skin more. In northern latitudes or winter months, longer exposure or supplementation may be necessary. In America, where many seniors spend 90% plus of time indoors due to climate-controlled homes, driving, screen time, or fear of skin cancer, vitamin D deficiency is widespread, estimated to affect over 40% of adults, rising with age due to reduced skin synthesis efficiency. This contributes to higher rates of osteoporosis, falls, immune weakness, depression, and chronic disease compared to outdoor-oriented blue zones cultures. Practical ways to embrace this habit. Make morning sunlight part of your routine. Take your coffee or breakfast on the porch, balcony, or backyard. Combine with gentle walking, habit synergy, for 15 to 30 minutes shortly after waking. Garden, read outside, or simply sit and watch the world. If weather or mobility limits, position yourself near a sunny window. While less effective than direct exposure, it still provides circadian benefits. Safe sun practices are crucial. Aim for early morning or late afternoon in summer to avoid peak UV hours. 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. In cooler seasons or milder climates, midday exposure is ideal. Expose as much skin as comfortable, arms, legs, neck, without burning. Never allow skin to redden. Use sunscreen after initial exposure if staying out longer. For those with very limited outdoor access, very dark skin, northern latitudes in winter, or medical conditions affecting vitamin D metabolism, supplements, D3 form, under doctor guidance can help maintain levels, but natural sunlight remains superior for circadian, mood, and nitric oxide benefits that pills can't replicate. Centenarians don't obsess over sun exposure. They simply live outdoors more. An Icarian elder gathering wild greens, a Sardinian shepherd walking pastures, an Okinawan gardener, the sun nourishes them gently every day. This habit elevates mood through serotonin, strengthens bones and immunity via vitamin D, regulates sleep and energy through circadian alignment, and reduces inflammation system-wide. It's free, pleasurable, and profoundly restorative. Start small. Commit to 15 minutes of outdoor light daily, ideally morning. Feel the warmth, breathe fresh air, notice improved energy and outlook. As we near the very top habits, see how sunlight synergizes with movement, outdoor walks, stress relief, nature calm, and healthy eating. Vitamin D enhances nutrient absorption. Step outside daily. Let the sun be your quiet, powerful ally in longevity. Number 6. Prioritize quality sleep. We are now at number 6 in our countdown of the 20 essential Blue Zones habits that can help you live longer, healthier, and with sharper mental clarity after 60. And this one is absolutely foundational to everything else we've discussed. Prioritizing quality sleep. In every Blue Zones community, sleep follows natural rhythms aligned with the sun. People rise early with the light, stay active during the day, and go to bed relatively early, often shortly after sunset or within a few hours. There are no late-night television marathons, scrolling on devices, or artificial lights pushing bedtime later and later. This creates a consistent pattern of 7 to 9 hours of restorative sleep each night, often supplemented by short afternoon naps when needed. The result? Deep, uninterrupted rest that allows the body and brain to repair, recharge, and protect themselves against the diseases of aging. Blue Zone's elders don't treat sleep as an afterthought or something to squeeze in when everything else is done. It's a non-negotiable part of a healthy life, just like eating or moving. In Okinawa, elders typically retire early after light evening activities and rise with the dawn for gardening or radio taiso. In Ikaria, long dinners end reasonably early, followed by restful nights. Sardinians wind down after family time or village socializing. Nicoyans follow the sun's cycle closely in rural life. Loma Linda Adventists emphasize early bedtimes as part of their health principles, often avoiding caffeine and creating calm evening routines. This natural rhythm supports the body's circadian biology, the internal clock that regulates nearly every physiological process. Hormone release, melatonin for sleep, cortisol for waking, immune function, digestion, blood pressure, body temperature, and cellular repair. When we honor this rhythm, sleep becomes deeper and more efficient. When we disrupt it with irregular schedules or blue light from screens, sleep quality suffers, even if we spend enough hours in bed. Why is quality sleep so critical for longevity, especially after 60? During deep sleep stages, the brain clears metabolic waste through the glymphatic system, a process that removes toxins linked to Alzheimer's and other dementias. Growth hormone is released, supporting tissue repair and muscle maintenance. The cardiovascular system rests, lowering nightly blood pressure and reducing strain on the heart. Immune cells regenerate, inflammation decreases, insulin sensitivity improves, and memory consolidation strengthens, protecting against cognitive decline. Chronic poor sleep, on the other hand, is now recognized as a major risk factor for nearly every age-related disease. Short sleep duration, 6 hours, or poor quality is linked to higher risks of dementia, up to 30% increased, heart disease, stroke, diabetes, obesity, depression, and weakened immunity. Recent 2025 to 2026 research continues to highlight sleep disruption as an independent accelerator of biological aging, shortening telomeres and elevating inflammatory markers. In America, where the average adult gets less than 7 hours and many seniors struggle with insomnia, fragmented sleep, or medication side effects, reclaiming Blue Zone-style sleep can be transformative. The good news? It's largely within your control. Key principles: consistency is king. Aim for the same bedtime and wake time every day, even weekends, within a 30 to 60-minute window. This strengthens your circadian rhythm more than occasional long sleep-ins. Create an optimal sleep environment. Keep the bedroom cool. 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit, 15-19 degrees is ideal, as core body temperature drops for sleep. Completely dark. Use blackout curtains or eye masks. Even small lights from electronics disrupt melatonin. And quiet, white noise machines or earplugs if needed. Reserve the bed for sleep and intimacy only. No work, screens, or stressful conversations. Establish a wind-down ritual, 1 to 2 hours before bed. Dim lights, avoid blue light screens, or use blue blockers. Read a physical book, listen to calming music or podcasts, practice gentle stretching or deep breathing, sip herbal tea, chamomile, valerian, or lavender, journal gratitude or tomorrow's to-do list to clear the mind. Many Blue Zones include short afternoon naps, 20 to 30 minutes, to recharge without grogginess, perfect if evenings are early. Avoid long or late naps that interfere with nighttime sleep. Diet and habits matter. Finish eating 2-3 hours before bed. Limit caffeine after noon. It has a 6 to 8 hour half-life. Moderate evening alcohol. It fragments sleep later. And get morning sunlight to anchor your rhythm. For seniors facing common sleep challenges, nighttime waking, medications, pain, or anxiety, simple adjustments help. Address underlying issues with your doctor. Try cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, CBTI, highly effective, or incorporate relaxing supplements like magnesium glycinate if approved. Centenarians sleep deeply because their days are filled with natural movement, sunlight, purpose, social connection, and nutrient-rich meals, all supporting restful nights. They don't fight biology, they flow with it. Prioritizing quality sleep protects your brain against dementia by enhancing toxin clearance and memory consolidation, safeguards your heart through nightly recovery, strengthens immunity, stabilizes mood, and promotes hormonal balance for energy and metabolism. It's not a luxury. It's nightly maintenance that allows you to fully enjoy the extra healthy years these habits provide. Start tonight. Set a consistent bedtime, create a calming ritual, darken your room completely. Notice how you feel after a week. Clearer mind, steadier energy, brighter mood. As we approach the very top habits, remember, great sleep amplifies everything. Sharper thinking for purpose, more energy for movement and relationships, better recovery from daily life. Honor your body's need for rest. It's one of the most powerful gifts you can give your future self. Number 5. Cultivate laughter and positivity. We have now reached number 5 in our countdown of the 20 powerful Blue Zones habits that can help you live longer, healthier, and with far more joy after 60. And this one is pure medicine for the heart and soul, cultivating laughter and a positive outlook every single day. If you've ever wondered why Blue Zone's centenarians seem to radiate contentment even in their 90s and 100s, look no further than their remarkable capacity for joy, humor, and optimism. These elders are not stoic or somber. They are playful, quick to laugh, teasing with friends, telling stories with twinkling eyes, and finding delight in simple pleasures. Laughter echoes through village piazzas in Sardinia, family dinners in Nicoya, tea gatherings in Okinawa, and church fellowship in Loma Linda. Joy isn't occasional, it's woven into the fabric of daily life. This isn't just charming, it's profoundly protective for health and longevity. Genuine laughter triggers a cascade of beneficial physiological responses. It reduces stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, lowering inflammation and blood pressure, releases endorphins, natural painkillers and mood elevators, boosts immune function by increasing antibody production and activating natural killer cells, improves blood vessel dilation, enhancing circulation and reducing heart disease risk, and even temporarily raises heart rate in a way that strengthens cardiovascular resilience. Over time, frequent laughter contributes to lower rates of depression, anxiety, and chronic disease. A positive outlook, optimism, gratitude, hope works similar magic on a deeper level. Decades of research, including the Harvard Study of Adult Development, one of the longest-running studies on happiness and health, with updates continuing into 2025 to 2026, and large meta-analyses, consistently link positive emotional states to longer life expectancy. Optimists have lower risks of cardiovascular events, better immune responses, faster recovery from illness, and reduced mortality from multiple causes. They also experience less chronic pain, better sleep, and stronger adherence to healthy behaviors. At the cellular level, positivity influences gene expression, downregulating pro-inflammatory genes, and upregulating those involved in antiviral response and antibody production. It lengthens telomeres, protective chromosome caps that shorten with stress, slows biological aging, and supports brain health by preserving hippocampal volume and reducing dementia risk. Blue Zone's elders embody this naturally. Their lives are rich with purpose, ikigai, strong relationships, faith or meaning, and daily pleasures, fresh food, nature, music, storytelling that foster gratitude and lightheartedness. They don't dwell on negatives. They focus on what's good, laugh at life's absurdities, and maintain perspective through hardship. In America, where chronic stress, isolation, and negative news cycles can dominate, cultivating laughter and positivity requires intention. But the rewards are immense. Make joy a daily practice, not a rare event. Practical ways to start. Seek out comedy regularly. Watch stand-up specials, funny movies, or sitcoms you love. Listen to humorous podcasts during walks or chores. Surround yourself with positive people. Spend time with friends and family who uplift you. Share laughs and focus on solutions rather than complaints. Join laughter yoga classes, growing in popularity among seniors, or simply practice smiling and laughing intentionally, even alone. It still triggers beneficial physiology. Cultivate gratitude as a habit. Each morning or evening, name 3 things you're thankful for, big or small. Keep a gratitude journal or share them with a loved one. This rewires the brain toward positivity, reducing rumination and amplifying joy. Infuse fun into routines. Play games, cards, board games, puzzles with grandchildren or friends. Listen to upbeat music and dance in the kitchen. Tell jokes or funny stories at dinner. Watch pet videos or nature with wonder. Plan small pleasures, picnics, stargazing, trying a new hobby that spark delight. When challenges arise, practice reframing. Ask, what can I learn? Or what's still good? Forgiveness of self and others releases emotional burdens. Acts of kindness boost your own happiness as much as the recipient's. Centenarians don't wait for perfect conditions to be happy. They choose joy amid imperfection. An Icarian elder laughs about forgetting where he parked his donkey. A Sardinian grandmother teases friends playfully. A Nicoyan abuelo delights in grandchildren's antics. Their positivity isn't denial, it's wisdom. This habit enhances mental resilience, lowers disease risk, improves pain tolerance, strengthens relationships, and makes every other habit more sustainable. Because when you feel good, you naturally move more, eat better, connect deeper. Choose happiness daily. It's not frivolous. It's one of the most potent longevity tools available, free and accessible to everyone. As we approach the very top habits, notice how laughter and positivity amplify everything. Deeper relationships, easier stress relief, greater appreciation for healthy food and movement. Laugh often. Choose optimism. It's medicine you can take anytime. Number 4. Connect with nature. Gardening or outdoors? We are now at number 4 in our countdown of the 20 powerful Blue Zones habits that can help you live longer, healthier, and with deeper peace after 60. And this one brings us literally down to earth in the most beautiful way. Connecting regularly with nature, especially through gardening or simply spending meaningful time outdoors. Across every Blue Zones region, a profound relationship with the natural world is woven into daily life. Gardening, in particular, stands out as one of the most common and cherished activities among centenarians. In Okinawa, elders maintain small but vibrant home gardens filled with sweet potatoes, bitter melon, turmeric, goya, and fragrant herbs, rising early to tend plants that provide both nourishment and gentle physical activity. In Sardinia's mountain villages, older residents cultivate olive groves, vineyards, vegetable patches, and wild herb collections on terraced hillsides. In Icaria, wild greens and herbs are foraged from mountain slopes, while home gardens supply tomatoes, beans, and figs. In Nicoya, backyard plots yield corn, squash, beans, and tropical fruits that form the backbone of the diet. Even in urban-influenced Loma Linda, many Adventists keep flower beds, vegetable gardens, or fruit trees as part of their stewardship of the earth. This isn't coincidental. Gardening combines several longevity superpowers into one joyful, purposeful practice. It provides natural, daily movement, squatting, bending, reaching, walking, digging, fresh, nutrient-dense foods straight from soil to table, moderate sunlight exposure for vitamin D, mindful focus that reduces stress, and a tangible sense of contribution and accomplishment. But perhaps most importantly, it offers direct contact with the earth, what scientists now call grounding or earthing, where bare skin or hands touch soil, grass, or plants, allowing the body to absorb free electrons that neutralize inflammation-causing free radicals. The health benefits are multi-layered and profound. Time in nature consistently lowers cortisol, the primary stress hormone, reduces blood pressure, calms the nervous system, and improves heart rate variability, creating a state of physiological relaxation that counters the chronic stress so common in modern life. Studies through 2025 to 2026 continue to show that regular nature exposure decreases systemic inflammation, strengthens immune function, enhances mood through serotonin and dopamine release, and even supports better sleep by reinforcing circadian rhythms. Vitamin D production from sunlight remains crucial for bone density, immune regulation, and mood stability, especially important as natural synthesis efficiency declines with age. Gardening also fosters microbiome diversity. Handling soil exposes you to beneficial microbes, like Mycobacterium vaccae, that act as natural antidepressants and anti-inflammatories when inhaled or absorbed through skin. Psychologically, connecting with nature provides restorative attention. The gentle focus on watching plants grow, feeling soil, smelling flowers, or listening to birds replenishes mental energy depleted by urban overstimulation. It cultivates patience, gratitude, and wonder, qualities centenarians exhibit in abundance. Perhaps most beautifully, gardening gives purpose and legacy. Elders grow food that nourishes family, share harvests with neighbors, teach grandchildren planting skills, and feel deeply connected to the cycle of life. Watching seeds become food embodies hope and continuity. For Americans, where many live in apartments, suburbs, or climates less conducive to year-round outdoor gardening, this habit is still wonderfully accessible. Start a backyard or community garden. Even raised beds or containers on patios work brilliantly for tomatoes, herbs, lettuce, or berries. Join a local community garden plot. Many cities offer senior priority spaces for built-in social connection and expert tips. If space is limited, embrace houseplants or windowsill herb gardens. Basil, mint, chives, or succulents bring nature indoors, improve air quality, and provide daily tending rituals. Balcony container gardening thrives with compact vegetables like cherry tomatoes, peppers, or greens. Spend intentional time in parks, nature trails, botanical gardens, or nearby green spaces. Sit on a bench observing trees, walk barefoot on grass when safe for grounding benefits, or simply breathe deeply under open sky. Forest bathing, Shinrin-yoku, the Japanese practice of immersive nature time, has been adapted worldwide and shown to lower stress hormones dramatically. Make it therapeutic. Combine with gentle movement, weeding as stretching, mindful breathing while watering, or gratitude practice while harvesting. Involve family. Gardening with grandchildren creates lasting bonds and passes down the habit. Even in winter or inclement weather, houseplants, nature documentaries, or planning next season's garden keep the connection alive. Centenarians don't garden for health metrics. They do it because it feels deeply satisfying, connects them to ancestors who farmed the same land, and gives daily purpose. An Icarian elder foraging wild greens, a Sardinian grandmother pruning olive trees, an Okinawan great-grandfather planting Goya. Nature is their companion, healer, and provider. This habit reduces stress profoundly, supplies vitamin D and grounding electrons, provides gentle exercise and fresh food, restores mental clarity, and infuses life with beauty and meaning. It's therapeutic in the truest sense, tending the earth while it tends you. As we near the pinnacle habits, notice how nature connection enhances everything. Better sleep under natural rhythms, calmer mind for positivity, outdoor movement, appreciation for plant-based foods. Step outside, touch soil, breathe deeply. Let nature be your daily renewal. Number 3. Light dinner and evening fast. We have now reached number 3 in our countdown of the 20 transformative Blue Zones habits that can help you add vibrant, disease-free years after 60. And this one is a quiet but incredibly powerful practice that aligns perfectly with the body's natural rhythms. Keeping dinner as your smallest meal of the day and creating an evening fast by avoiding late-night eating. In every Blue Zones community, meals follow a clear pattern that mirrors the sun's cycle. The largest meal is typically breakfast or lunch to fuel active mornings and days, a moderate midday meal, and then a light, early dinner, often the smallest of the day, finished well before bedtime. There is virtually no late-night snacking or heavy eating after dark. In Okinawa, dinner might be a simple bowl of vegetable soup with tofu and greens. In Sardinia, a modest plate of minestrone or grilled vegetables with a little cheese. In Icaria, a small portion of beans or lentils with bread and herbs. In Nicoya, rice, beans, and squash in smaller evening portions. In Loma Linda, many Adventists enjoy an early plant-based supper followed by nothing but water or herbal tea. This isn't about deprivation. It's about giving the body what it needs when it needs it most and allowing a natural overnight fast for restoration. By front-loading calories earlier in the day and keeping evenings light, Blue Zones residents unintentionally create an extended nightly fasting window, typically 12 to 14 hours or more between dinner and breakfast, that supports digestion, metabolism, cellular repair, and overall longevity. The science behind this is compelling and continues to grow stronger with ongoing research into 2025 to 2026. When we eat lightly in the evening and stop several hours before sleep, the body shifts from digestion mode into repair and recovery mode overnight. Insulin levels drop, allowing fat burning and metabolic flexibility. Human growth hormone rises, supporting tissue repair and muscle maintenance. Autophagy, the cellular cleanup process that removes damaged components and recycles them, increases, helping prevent age-related diseases. Inflammation decreases, blood sugar stabilizes, and the gut gets a much-needed rest, improving microbiome health and reducing issues like reflux or bloating. A light dinner also dramatically improves sleep quality. Heavy or late meals keep the digestive system active, raising core body temperature and interfering with melatonin production and deep sleep stages. By finishing eating 3 to 4 hours before bed, the body can fully relax, leading to faster sleep onset, fewer awakenings, and more restorative rest. Crucial for cognitive health, immune function, and heart protection. Weight management becomes easier too. Evening calories are less likely to be burned and more likely to be stored as fat due to lower activity and insulin sensitivity at night. A smaller dinner naturally creates a mild calorie deficit without feeling restricted, supporting healthy weight and reducing risks of obesity-related conditions. Metabolically, this pattern enhances insulin sensitivity the next day, stabilizes energy levels, and supports cardiovascular health by lowering overnight triglycerides and blood pressure. For Americans, where dinner is often the largest meal and late-night snacking is common, driven by work schedules, family routines, or television habits, shifting to a lighter, earlier dinner can feel like a big change, but the payoff is enormous. Start by aiming to finish eating by 6 or 7 p.m. most evenings. Make dinner the smallest meal, a bowl of vegetable soup, a large salad with beans or fish, grilled vegetables with a small portion of whole grains, or a plant-based stir-fry. Focus on volume from low-calorie, high-fiber foods that satisfy without overloading. After dinner, close the kitchen. Replace late snacks with calming herbal tea, chamomile, peppermint, rooibos, or ginger, which aids digestion, hydrates, and signals wind down without calories or stimulation. If hunger strikes, a small handful of nuts or a piece of fruit is far better than processed snacks. Practical tips: plan dinners that are quick and light. Sheet pan roasted vegetables, bean salads, broth-based soups. Eat mindfully with family or friends to enhance satisfaction without needing large portions. If your schedule demands later eating occasionally, keep it very light and finish at least 3 hours before bed. Many seniors notice immediate benefits: less nighttime heartburn, deeper sleep, steadier morning energy, easier weight control, and reduced bloating. Over months, the metabolic and anti-inflammatory advantages compound. Blue Zone's elders don't follow strict fasting protocols. They simply eat when the sun is up and rest when it's down. An Akarian might finish a modest supper by sunset, then enjoy conversation or music before early bed. A Nicoyan family shares a light evening meal together, then relaxes without food. This rhythm feels natural and sustainable. This habit improves sleep profoundly, less digestive interference, boosts metabolism and insulin sensitivity, supports healthy weight effortlessly, enhances overnight cellular repair through extended fasting windows, and protects heart and brain health long-term. It's not about hunger, it's about timing nourishment wisely, giving your body the gift of nightly renewal. As we approach the very top 2 habits, notice how a light dinner and evening fast synergizes with everything. Better sleep quality, calmer evenings for positivity, easier digestion of plant-rich foods, more energy for movement and connection. Finish eating early tonight. Sip herbal tea. Let your body heal while you rest. It's one of the kindest things you can do for your future self. Number 2. Deep relationships and intimacy. We are now at number 2 in our countdown of the 20 transformative Blue Zones habits that can add years of vibrant, meaningful living after 60. And this one goes straight to the heart of what makes those extra years truly worth living. Cultivating deep, committed relationships and maintaining emotional and physical intimacy throughout life. In every Blue Zones community, strong, lifelong partnerships and close, intimate bonds are not just common. They are celebrated and prioritized as one of the greatest sources of health, happiness, and longevity. Committed marriages or long-term partnerships lasting decades are the norm, not the exception. Divorce rates are low, and elders often speak of their spouses with deep affection, gratitude, and humor. But it's not only romantic partnerships. The intimacy extends to profound emotional closeness with family and chosen family of close friends, the kind of relationships where you feel truly seen, supported, and loved. Physical intimacy, touch, affection, sexual connection when desired, remains part of life for many Blue Zones elders well into advanced age. It's not about performance or frequency. It's about tenderness, closeness, and the human need for touch that never disappears. Emotional intimacy, open communication, vulnerability, forgiveness, shared laughter, and daily acts of care is even more central, creating a safe emotional harbor that sustains both partners through life's ups and downs. The science supporting this is overwhelming and beautiful. Large, decades-long studies, including the Harvard Study of Adult Development, ongoing since 1938 and still providing insights into 2026, consistently show that the single strongest predictor of long-term health and happiness is the quality of our close relationships. People in committed, satisfying partnerships have dramatically lower risks of heart disease, stroke, dementia, depression, and premature death. They recover faster from illness, experience less chronic pain, maintain better immune function, and report higher life satisfaction. Why? Deep relationships provide a profound buffer against stress, lowering cortisol, reducing inflammation, stabilizing blood pressure, and improving sleep. They give daily doses of oxytocin, the love hormone, through touch, affection, and emotional connection, which calms the nervous system and strengthens the heart. They combat loneliness, the loneliness killer, that rivals smoking or obesity in mortality risk, by fulfilling our fundamental need for belonging. Physical intimacy specifically offers unique benefits. regular affectionate touch and sexual activity, when desired and possible, release endorphins, boost mood, improve cardiovascular health, enhance sleep, and even support pelvic floor strength and prostate health in men. Emotional intimacy. Honest communication, active listening, expressing appreciation, builds resilience, reduces anxiety, and fosters a sense of purpose and security. Blue Zone's elders model this beautifully. Lifelong marriages are common, with couples supporting each other through decades of shared work, raising families, and facing challenges together. In Sardinia and Icaria, elders often hold hands or sit close during gatherings. In Okinawa, couples maintain affection and mutual care well into old age. In Nicoya, strong family bonds include respect and tenderness toward spouses. In Loma Linda, faith-based marriages emphasize commitment, forgiveness, and service to each other. For Americans over 60, nurturing deep relationships and intimacy can feel vulnerable or challenging, especially after loss, divorce, retirement, or health changes. But it's one of the most rewarding investments possible. Whether married, partnered, or single, focus on quality over quantity. If partnered, prioritize daily connection. Small gestures like holding hands, saying I love you, sharing gratitude, or planning simple dates, walks, home-cooked meals, watching sunsets. Communicate openly, express needs, listen without judgment, resolve conflicts with kindness. Maintain affection, hugs, kisses, cuddling, and sexual intimacy if desired and possible. Many couples find that intimacy evolves into deeper tenderness and emotional closeness with age, which is equally powerful. If widowed or single, deep intimacy isn't limited to romance. Cultivate profound friendships, confidants you can be vulnerable with, share joys and sorrows, and rely on. Physical touch remains important. Hugs from friends, family, massages, or even pet companionship release oxytocin. For everyone, practice daily habits that strengthen bonds. Regular check-ins, expressing appreciation, planning shared activities, forgiving quickly, laughing together. Technology helps bridge distance. Video calls, voice messages, shared photo albums. Combat loneliness proactively. Join groups, book clubs, faith communities, volunteer work, where deep connections can form. Be the initiator. Invite someone for coffee, reach out to an old friend, offer help. Deep relationships and intimacy are the ultimate life extender because they fulfill our deepest human needs. To love and be loved, to matter to someone, to share life's journey. They reduce the greatest modern threat, loneliness, and amplify every other healthy habit. Centenarians don't live long in isolation. They live long wrapped in love, touch, and connection. Nurture your closest relationships daily. Express affection freely. Listen deeply. Forgive generously. Touch tenderly. It's not just romantic, it's medicine for a long, joyful life. We've reached the pinnacle. Stay with me for the #1 habit that ties everything together. Number 1, the ultimate secret. The synergistic combination. We have finally arrived at the pinnacle. Number 1 in our life-changing countdown of the 20 Blue Zones habits that can help you live not just longer, but with extraordinary vitality, joy, and fulfillment after 60. And here is the ultimate secret that ties everything together. The true power lies not in any single habit, but in the synergistic combination of all of them working together as a holistic lifestyle. This is the profound insight that emerges again and again from the Blue Zones. There is no isolated magic pill, no one superfood, supplement, exercise, or mindset that alone explains the exceptional longevity and well-being of centenarians. Instead, it's the beautiful interplay, the daily weaving together of purpose, strong community, natural movement, a plant-slant diet, stress downshifting, faith or belonging, family priority, moderate enjoyment, sleep alignment, nature connection, positivity, and all the other habits we've explored. When practiced consistently in combination, they create a momentum far greater than the sum of their parts, reinforcing one another and making healthy, happy living feel effortless and natural. Think of it as a symphony. Each habit is an instrument playing its part, but only when they harmonize do you hear the full, magnificent music of a long, vibrant life. The environments in Blue Zones are designed, often unintentionally through centuries of tradition, to make these healthy choices the default, the easy path, rather than the uphill battle. Homes are built for multi-generational living and walking. Villages encourage daily social interaction in piazzas or markets. Food systems revolve around gardens, beans, and seasonal plants. Work and chores require natural movement. Faith communities and cultural rituals provide weekly downshifting and belonging. There are few processed foods, few cars in old villages, few screens dominating evenings. The surroundings nudge people toward the right choices without willpower struggles. In modern America, we don't have those built-in nudges, so we must intentionally curate our own Blue Zone's environment. This is the ultimate secret in action. Reshape your surroundings, routines, and relationships so that the healthy, joyful path becomes the natural one. Start with your social circle. Surround yourself with friends, family, and community members who uplift, encourage, and share your values. Seek out or create your own moe, small groups for regular walks, meals, or support. Choose relationships that inspire laughter, purpose, and positivity rather than drain energy. Design your home environment for health. Keep fresh produce visible and accessible. Stock the pantry with beans, herbs, and whole grains. Remove or minimize processed snacks. Create spaces that invite movement, a garden patch, walking shoes by the door, comfortable chairs on the porch for evening conversation. Make your bedroom a sleep sanctuary, cool, dark, screen-free. Build daily and weekly routines that embed purpose and downshifting. Morning rituals of gratitude or reflection, afternoon nature time or short naps, evening wind downs with herbal tea and reading. Schedule time for what matters most: family meals, calls to loved ones, volunteer work, or creative hobbies that give meaning. The result? Healthy choices stop feeling like effort and start feeling like the natural flow of life. You move because your environment invites it. You eat well because nourishing food is what's available and enjoyable. You connect because people are part of your daily rhythm. You rest because evenings are calm and screen-free. Purpose and positivity arise organically from a life rich with meaning. This synergistic combination is what adds the most years and the happiest ones. No single change creates the full Blue Zone's effect. It's the holistic lifestyle that transforms health at the deepest level, reducing inflammation system-wide, supporting cellular repair, strengthening immunity, protecting the heart and brain, and filling days with joy and connection. Real centenarians embody this beautifully. Take Deborah from Loma Linda, who reached 107 with remarkable clarity and warmth. Her days blended faith-based community service, purpose and belonging, vegetarian meals shared with family, plant slant and family first, daily walks in nature, movement and sunlight, Sabbath rest, downshifting, and lifelong close relationships, including a loving marriage. Or Antonio from Sardinia, 104 and still lively. Moderate wine shared with lifelong friends, social ties and enjoyment, shepherd-style walking over hills, natural movement, simple meals of beans, vegetables, and herbs with family, plant slant and family priority, and a deep sense of place and tradition, purpose and positivity. They don't obsess over rules or track metrics. They don't chase the latest fad. They simply live fully within a lifestyle that nurtures body, mind, and spirit in harmony. You now hold the complete blueprint, the 20 interconnected habits that, together, form the ultimate secret to extraordinary longevity. The power is in the combination, in creating your personal Blue Zone, where healthy, joyful living becomes the easy, natural choice. You don't need perfection, just consistent, joyful effort across these areas. Start where you feel most drawn. Build gradually. Involve loved ones. Celebrate small wins. Your future self, the vibrant, independent, joyful version of you a decade or two from now, is waiting. These habits are the bridge. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the Blue Zone's wisdom. Live them fully, share them widely, and watch how your life and the lives of those around you transforms. You've now explored 20 proven habits. Start with 3 easiest today. Perhaps daily walk, more veggies, calling friend. Your future self thanks you. Which habit will you try first? Favorite number? Share comments. We love hearing. If this inspired, like, share with loved ones, subscribe to Silver Vitality Vault for more longevity guides. Thank you for spending this time investing in your extraordinary future. Live long, live well.